Okay, morning everybody. So today we are going to continue our discussion in chapter 3, section 1. And this one's going to be quite a bit of a shorter video than what I showed you yesterday because I only have two problems to show you. And those two problems are going to be how to graph an equation using a table. So this technique that I'm going to show you is actually incredibly useful. It allows you to graph any type of equation, not just these straight line graphs or these linear equations that we're talking about. But if you're ever given an equation and you're asked to draw a graph of it, this technique will work. Okay. So let me show you. So we have this equation y equals negative 2x plus 3, and we want to draw a graph of it. And so what we can do is we can create a table of values. And that table of values will be ordered pairs that we'll plot. And then once we plot them, you're going to see what the graph looks like. But what we have to do with all of these values that you can see I'm circling is we need to put them in for x. So each one of these gets individually put in for x in this equation. So the first one is we're going to take this 0 and we're going to put it right there in for x. And so when I write that, I have y equals negative 2 times 0 plus 3. And by plugging in the 0, it cancels the negative 2 out, and we're just left with y equals 3. And so I write a 3 right there. Now the next one I'm going to plug in is going to be this 1. And I'm going to plug that 1 in for x right up there. And so when I do that, this is a new problem. Y equals negative 2. And you can see I'm putting 1 in for the x value. Negative 2 times 1 is negative 2. And then plus 3. Negative 2 plus 3 is positive 1. So I get, when I plug in 1, I got 1 out. Okay. The next one I'm going to put in is this 2. We're going to put the 2 in for x right there. So I have y equals negative 2 times 2 plus 3. And then we're going to proceed to simplify this. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. And then negative 4 plus 3 is negative 1. And so I got y equals negative 1. So I put negative 1 in the table. The last one that we need to do is y equals negative 2 times 3 plus 3. So when I do this, I get y equals negative 6 plus 3. And negative 6 plus 3 is negative 3. So then I fill in negative 3 on my table. So now what you can see is I have 4 different points. These are all ordered pairs, like this. And those ordered pairs need to be plotted. It's very simple. Okay, so 0 means start at the origin. We don't go left or right, but we go up 3 and we put a dot. So there's the first dot. And then 1, 1 means go to the right 1 and up 1. And then 2, negative 1 means go to the right 2 and down 1. And then the last one, which is 3, negative 3, means go to the right 3 and go down to negative 3, right there. Now you can see all of those points are lining up in a straight line. It's important that they do. If you try graphing an equation and the points don't line up in a straight line, it means you did something wrong. We are only going to be graphing straight lines this year. Okay, so those should be lined up perfectly. So let's move on to the next one. Okay, this is the last one we're going to do. Now you can see that we have y equals 1/3 x plus 2. So each one of these x values is going to get dropped in for x, just like we did in the last one. So we can get our y values. And once we have our y values, we will be able to plot our equation. So let's get started or graph our equation. So I'm going to put a 0 in. Y equals 1/3, 0 plus 2. 0 times 1/3 is 0. So we're left with y equals 2. So I'm going to write 2 right there. Okay, the next number that we're going to plug in is 3. And so 1/3 times 3 is 1. So that turns into 1 plus 2. And that gives me y equals 3. So I'm going to write 3 right there. Okay, 2 more. Next number we're going to put in is 6. The next number we're going to put in is 6. One-third times 6 is 2. And 2 plus 2 is 4. And then the last number we're going to put in is 9. One-third times 9 is 3. And 3 plus 2 is 5. And so now what you see is each one of those numbers, we have ordered pairs that all need to be plotted. So 0, 2 is right there. 3, 3 is right there. 6, 4 is right there. And then 9, 5 is right there. And as you can see, all my points line up in a straight line. I'm going to draw my line through there. Draw my arrows, please. Don't forget to do that. And we've got our graph. So there you go. That's all I got for you today. If you have any questions, feel free to email me. Have a great day.